continue my political activities effectively under the platform of PDP. I respectfully request that this letter be taken as my official notice for the records of the House. Please accept the assurances of my highest esteem. Yours faithfully, Honorable Barrister Blessing Chigeru Amadi. My dear sister, congratulations and welcome to APC. The last but not the least is a letter coming from Honorable Felix Uche Nweke, member representing LMA Oyibo Federal Constituency of Rivers State. And his message reads as follows. Is Honorable Nweke around? Thank you. His message reads as follows. I write to formally notify you and the House of my resignation from the People's Democratic Party, PDP. This decision is a direct consequence of the protracted and unresolved internal crisis currently rocking the party. These divisions have created an atmosphere of instability that makes it increasingly difficult to effectively represent the interests of my constituents. Consequently, I'm constrained to resign my membership of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, and join the All Progressive Party, APC. This move comes after extensive consultations with my political leaders and the good people of my constituency. While I remain grateful to the PDP for the platform provided to me in previous years, my primary commitment is to the progress of my constituency and the nation, a goal I believe is now best served through the All Progressive Congress, APC. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Felix Uche Nweke, member representing LMA Tai Oyibo Federal Constituency of Rivers State. Honorable Felix, congratulations. Welcome to APC. You can please come over. Let us appreciate you. Extend your greetings to both the majority and the minority leaders. All members that have defected, please can you come out?
Point of order,
come
Mr.
out,
Speaker.
Please, for a handshake. Honorable Bob Solomon, we need you here.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
Point of order.
Yes, sir.
Where are you talking?
Point of order.
Point of order. I will use the floor to you later. Give me some few minutes. No problem. We'll yield the floor to you.
Point of order. Point of order, Honorable.
Chinda, go and join them. Chinda.
Point of order.
Don't worry.
Alam ko, bro.
Is in the hotel. They are doing this work on supplementary.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
My leader. Thank you, my leader.
Please go ahead.
Thank you. Mr. Speaker.
Clerk.
Honorable colleagues, please be seated.
What is it?
Please go ahead.
Okay.
Honorable colleagues, please be seated.
I'm hearing you, so go ahead.
Mr. Speaker, my honorable colleagues, I remain Ali Isa JC, PhD, representing Balanga Billiri Federal Constituency from Gombe State. I am the minority whip of the House of Representatives and also a member of the People's Democratic Party. Mr. Speaker, I'm coming under constitutional order. Section 68(1)(g).
Are you speaking on behalf of the minority leadership or
Yes,
just
sir.
as a person?
Yes, yes. I'm speaking on behalf of the minority leadership. After my comment, I'll give them time to say one or two words. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Section 68. A member of the Senate or House of Representatives shall vacate his seat if in the House
Order, please.
a
Honorable declaring to
member of the
APC.
Senate or House of Representatives shall vacate his seat in the House which he is a member. Then we'll go to 68(g). Being a person whose election in the House of Representatives was sponsored by one political party and which he became a member, and he decided to become a member of any political party before the expiration of
order, Mr.
the
Speaker.
period of which he was elected. Mr. Speaker, my honorable colleagues, I'm surprised my brother, Honorable Bob, which I know he's a lawyer, so I'm surprised he knows the Constitution, and he decided to vacate his seat. And I'm sure he will do the honorable thing even before Mr. Speaker will graciously declare his seat vacant. Mr. Speaker, my honorable colleague, on behalf of the minority leadership, we are calling on you to help us declare their seat vacant, even though I'm not sure if Honorable Bob was still in PDP.
Oh, really?
Yes, I was not sure of that one. So, but still declare his seat and the others vacant. I so move. I'll give chance to Honorable Adiba that you add, then Honorable Chin.
I think you have spoken on behalf of the minority. There is nothing, is there anything that you want to add?
Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, Kingsley Chinda, Obiako Federal Constituency. Although not a very happy day to me, I'm from River State.
Speaker is too good.
But Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, I want to restate that the ceremony that just took place before the House should be expunged from our records that it never happened. The reason is that I will challenge any one of us to show me anywhere in our law that requires that you need to come to the floor of the House for you to move from one political party to the other. There is no law like that, I keep saying. If anyone is interested in moving, yes, you have a constitutional right to change your association, but you go back to your ward. Go back to your ward and take the necessary step, and do not belabor us in Parliament with these leaders. So, Mr. Speaker, I want to say consistently, I want to say, thank you. Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, I will still want to ask that you show me. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My dear colleagues, we learn every day. And so this is one area that I want you to teach me. I want to see the relevant law or rules that require that you continue to perform this ceremony on the floor of the chambers, of the green chambers. Mr. Speaker, I align with my colleague in his point of order. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Your points of orders are noted. As for the ceremony you are talking about here, it doesn't have to be in law. Any member who is changing his party has the right to tell the assembly that he is no longer a member of social party, he is moving to another. Informing the members of the House is not an offense. If we decide to make it a little bit colorful, it's just for us to appreciate that as the ruling party, we are happy to see one of our own coming to be in the party that is supposed to, that you'll feel better. So what you have said is noted, and going forward, we'll also look forward to seeing more and more of the PDP family coming to join us. Thank you so much for the comments. Honorable Sani, is it on the same subject matter?
Yes, sir.
You are not satisfied with the explanation?
No, I just want to align myself with what the two speakers.
They have already said, allegiance said is on behalf of the minority leadership. So I thought it covers you too.
It's okay.
Well done. Honorable members, the business of the day is presentation of two reports of the Committee on Appropriations. Standing in the name of Honorable Abubakar Kabir Bichi, Honorable Bichi is invited to present the reports.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. My name is Abubakar Kabir Bichi, member representing Bichi Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Kano State. I rise to move that the House do receive the report on the Committee on Appropriations on a bill for an act to repeal the Appropriation Act 2024, an act to authorize the issue from the Consolidated Revenue Fund of the Federation the total sum of 43,561,744,507 naira only, of which 1,742,786,788,150 only is for statutory transfers. 8,270,960,606,831 only is for debt servicing. 11,268,513,380,853 only is for recurrent non-debt expenditure, while the sum of 22,280,780,968,673 only is for capital expenditure development fund contribution for the year ending 31st December 2025. Mr. Speaker, I so move.
Chairman, Committee on Finance, can you second?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is James Abiodun Faleke. I represent Keja, Federal Constituency. I rise to second the motion ably moved by the Chairman of Appropriations. I so second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is have it. Honorable, please proceed and present your report. Okay, you have taken only the first report? Okay, please go ahead.
Mr. Speaker, I rise to move that the House do receive the report on the Committee on Appropriation on the Bill of an Act to authorize the issue from the Consolidated Revenue Fund of the Federation of the total sum of 48,316,242,591,785 naira only, of which 3,645,761,358,925 only is for statutory transfers. 14,317,142,689,548 only is for debt servicing, while 13,598,9,682,673 only is for recurrent non-debt expenditure, while the sum of 16,765,000,000
Abbas Tajuddin, GCON, PhD. My names are Chike John Okafor, PhD. I represent the good people of a member on appropriation. I so second.
Honorable colleagues, the first order of the day is the third reading of a bill for an act to amend the Electoral Act 2022 to regulate the conduct of federal, state, and area councils in the Federal Capital Territory elections and for related matters. Standing in the name of the House Leader. Honorable members will recall that the House adopted the leader to move that the bill be...
I hereby move that the bill be read for the third time. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Minority Leader, please can you kindly second?
a bill for an act to amend the Electoral Act 2022 to regulate the conduct of federal, state, and area councils in the Federal Capital Territory elections and for related matters. Third reading.
This bill is read the third time and passed. Standing in the name of Honorable Abubakar Kabir Bichi, Honorable Bichi will move for their consideration.
Constituency, Mr. Speaker, I'm from Kano State. I rise to move that the House do consider the report on the Committee on Appropriation on a bill for an act to repeal the Appropriation Act 2024 and enact to authorize the issues from Consolidated Revenue Fund 744,508 trillion 380,853 only is for recurrent non-debt expenditure, while the sum of
those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is have it. Leader of the House, please can you move for the House to resolve to the Committee of Supply to consider these reports.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Distinguished honorable colleagues, Abdullah Ibrahim Ali Halim is my name. I'm from Kogi State. I represent the very marvelous people of Ankpa of Malola Federal Constituency. I hereby move that the House move into a Committee of Supply for consideration of this money bill. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Minority Leader.
My dear colleagues, Mr. Speaker, I rise to cascade into Committee of Supply to consider the bill. I so second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is have it. House has resolved to the Committee of Supply. Thank you. Honorable colleagues, the first report to be considered is for an act to authorize the issue from the Consolidated Revenue Fund of the Federation, the total sum of 43,561,744,507 naira only, of which 1,742,788,150 naira only is for statutory transfers. 8,270,960,606,831 naira is for debt service. 11,268,513,380,853 naira only is for recurrent expenditure, while the sum of 22,278,968,673 naira only is for contribution to the Development Fund for Capital Expenditure for the year ending 31st December 2025. I now invite Honorable Abubakar Kabir Bichi to give the synopsis of the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, I rise to move the report of the Joint Committee on Appropriation on the 2024 and 2025 Appropriation Act, Repeal and Enactment Bills HB 2679 and HB 2680. Mr. Speaker, I so move. Okay. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, you may recall that on Friday, 19 December 2025, the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, transmitted a letter to the House of Representatives to repeal and enact the bills in accordance with the established constitutional and legislative appropriation process. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, repeal the 2024 Appropriation Act of 35,556,707,218 only, and propose a new act with revised total expenditure of the total sum of 43,561,744,507 only, out of 1,742,788,150 only is for statutory transfers. 8,270,960,606,831 naira only is for debt servicing. 11,268,513,380,853 only is for recurrent non-debt expenditure, while the sum of 22,278,780,968,673 only is for contribution to the Development Fund for Capital Expenditure for the year ending on 31st day of December 2025. While for the repeal of the 2025 Appropriation Act of 54,990,165,355,306 and enact a new bill to authorize the issuance from Consolidated Revenue Fund of the Federation the total sum of 48,316,242,591,795 out of which 3,645,358,925 only is for statutory transfers. 14,342,142,689,548 only is for debt servicing, while 13,588,9,682,673 only is for recurrent non-debt expenditure, while the sum of 16,765,328,860,740 only is for contribution to the Development Fund for the capital expenditure for the year ending 31st day March 2026. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, the House debated the general principle of the bills, after which they were read a second time and subsequently referred to the Committee on Appropriation for further legislative action. The committee held a meeting with the economic team of the President, comprising the Minister of Finance and the Coordinating Minister of Economy, the Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, and the Director General Budget Office of the Federation. The meeting was convened to obtain further insight into justification for the repeal and enactment of the 2024 and 2025 Appropriation Act at this critical time. Highlight of the bills. The highlight of the 2024 Appropriation Act Repeal and Enactment Bill and 2025 are as follows. Aggregate revised expenditure 43,561,744,507 only, while statutory transfers 1,742,786,788,150. Debt servicing 8,270,960,606,831, while recurrent expenditure is 11,268,513,380,853. The capital expenditure is 22,278,780,968,673. Consequently, the highlight of the 2025 Appropriation Act Repeal and Enactment Bill are as follows. Aggregated revised expenditure 48,316,242,591,785. Statutory transfers debt servicing 14,342,689,548 naira only, while recurrent expenditure is 13,588,9,782,673 naira. Capital expenditure is 16,765,328,860,640 naira only. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, our observation is as follows. The committee made the following observation and findings. Under the 2024 Appropriation Act Repeal and Enactment, the bill an additional of 8.5 trillion was introduced into the capital component to accommodate special intervention, particularly in response to the security, humanitarian, and economic emergencies. Number two, this initiative seeks to balance responsiveness with fiscal responsibility, ensuring that urgent expenditure do not weaken legislative oversight or undermine fiscal prudence. Observation number three, under the 2025 Appropriation Act Repeal and Enactment, the sum of 6.674 trillion was reduced from the capital allocation and rolled over to 2026 fiscal year due to funding constraints. The initiative is expected to make the budget effective in meeting the expenditure of the governors given the anticipated increase in revenue generating profile in the next fiscal year. Our observation number 4, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, the continuation of the practice of running budget cycles concurrently, such as extending the implementation of the 2024 Appropriation Act deep into 2025, while the 2025 budget is in force, affects the budget clarity and weaken fiscal discipline. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, we recommended that, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, the committee hereby recommend that the House do consider and approve the Repeal and Enactment Act of the 2024 Appropriation Act to authorize the issue from the Consolidated Revenue Fund of the Federation the total sum of 43,561,041,744,507 only, out of 1,742,786,788,150 only is for statutory transfers. 8,270,960,606,831 only is for debt servicing. 11,268,513,380,853 only is for recurrent non-debt expenditure, while the sum of 22,278,780,968,673 only is for contribution to the development fund for capital expenditure for the year ending on the 31st day of December 2025. While the accompanying schedule is detailed as follows. The repeal enactment of the 2025 Appropriation Act, Mr. Speaker, authorized the issue for the Consolidated Revenue Fund operation total of 48,316,242,591,795 only, out of 3,645,761,358,125 only is for statutory transfers. 14,342,142,689,548 only is for debt servicing. 13,588,9,682,673 only is for recurrent non-debt expenditure, while the sum of 16,365,328,860,640 only is for contribution to the development fund for the capital expenditure for the year ending on the 31st day of March 2026, with accompanying schedule as follows. The House may wish to consider and approve the extension of the capital component of the 2025 Appropriation Repeal and Enactment Bill to the 31st day of March 2026. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleague, on behalf of the committee, I wish to thank the Speaker of the House and the leadership for their support to the committee. I also commend the committee members for their dedication and diligence in ensuring the successful completion of this legislative assignment. Mr. Speaker, I so submit. Thank you.
Thank you for the explanation. It is a synopsis he read. It doesn't require any secondment. So, honorable colleagues, we have heard from the chairman appropriation about the details of the 2024 repeal and enact. I'm sure we're all well guided and enlightened concerning the details of the budget. So with that, I will indulge us to just go ahead and approve the clauses. I think they are 13 in number, beginning with the issue and appropriation of 43,561,041,744,507 507,000 from the Consolidated Revenue Fund for 2024. Carried. 2, release of funds from the Consolidated Revenue. Carried. Environment. Carried. Corrigendum. Carried. Excess revenue. Carried. Authorization. Carried. Or information on funds releases. Carried. Due process certification. Carried. Information on internally generated revenue, domestic and foreign assistance. Carried. Power of Nigerian embassies and missions. Carried. Detailed estimate. Carried. Expiration Constitution 1999. Carried. Short title. Carried. Schedules. Under schedules, we have aggregate revenue inflow. Carried. We have expenditures. Carried. We have share of federation revenues. Carried. We have deductions. Carried. We have net of federation revenues. Carried. Independent revenues. Carried. Dividends. Carried. Aids and grants. Carried. Special levies and accounts. Carried. Revenue net of operating surplus. Carried. Others. Carried. Statutory transfers. Carried. Debt service. Carried. Allocation to federal executive bodies. Carried. Capital expenditure for ministries. Carried and MDAs. Total executive. Carried. Multilateral and bilateral funded projects. Carried. Total capital supplementation. Carried. Total capital expenditure. Carried. Aggregate expenditure. Carried. Thank you very much. Long title. Carried. Thank you, honorable colleagues. So we go to the second report. The second report to be considered is a bill for an act to authorize the issue from the Consolidated Revenue Fund of the Federation, the total sum of 48,316,242,591,785 naira only, of which 3,645,761,358,925 naira only is for statutory transfers. 14,317,142,689,548 naira only is for debt service. 13,588,9,682,673 naira only is for recurrent non-debt expenditure, while the sum of 16,765,328,860,640 naira only is for contribution to the Development Fund for capital expenditure for the year ending 31st day of March 2026. I now invite the House Leader to give the synopsis. Or is it Honorable Bichi to give the synopsis? Bichi, please go ahead. the synopsis for the second report, or did you give the two together? You gave the two together. Okay. Did you open the... Honorable colleagues, since the chairman appropriation has already combined the synopsis of the two reports, I think we can just go ahead and consider the reports. This bill also has 13 clauses. The first one is issue an appropriation of 48 trillion, 316 billion, 242 million, 591,785 naira. Consolidated Revenue Fund for 2025 carried. The second is release of funds from the consolidated revenue carried. 3, environment carried. 4, corrigendum carried. 5, excess revenue carried. 6, authorization carried. 7, information on funds releases carried. 8, due process certification carried. 9, information on internally generated revenue, domestic and foreign assistance carried. 10, power of Nigerian embassies and missions carried. 11, detailed estimate carried. 12, expiry constitution carried. 13, short title carried. Schedules carried. Thank you very much. Long title carried. Thank you very much. So, honorable colleagues, let me also announce for us to put to question the issue of extending the 2025 budget to 31st day of March. The House may wish to consider and approve the extension of the capital components of the 2025 appropriation, repeal and enactment bill to 31st day of March 2026. Carried. Thank you very much. The Leader of the House, please, can you move for the House to revert back to plenary?
We'll report it to the Speaker now. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, distinguished honorable colleagues. Abdullahi Ali Halims is my name. I hereby move that the House revert to plenary for consideration of the report. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The Minority Leader, please, can you second?
Mr. Chairman, my dear colleagues, I second the motion that we do revert back to plenary to consider the reports. I so second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is have it. House has reverted back to plenary. Thank you very much. Honorable colleagues, the House and Committee of Supply considered the report on the Committee on Appropriation on a bill for an act to repeal the Appropriation Act 2024 and an act to authorize the issue from the Consolidated Revenue Fund of the Federation the total sum of 43,561,744,507 naira only, of which 1,746,788,150 naira only is for statutory transfers. 8,270,960,606,831 naira only is for debt service. 11,268,513,380,853 naira only is for recurrent non-debt expenditure, while the sum of 22,278,780,968,673 naira only is for capital expenditure stroke development fund contribution for the year ending 31st December 2025. And in so doing, we have approved clauses 1 to 3, the schedules and the long title of the bill. Honorable colleagues, the second report, the House and Committee of Supply considered the report of the Committee on Appropriation on a bill for an act to authorize the issue from the Consolidated Revenue Fund of the Federation the total sum of 48,316,242,591,685 naira only, of which 3,645,761,358,925 naira only is for statutory transfers. 14 trillion 317 billion 142 million 689,548 naira only is for debt service. 13 trillion 588 billion 9 million 682,673 naira only is for recurrent non-debt expenditure, while the sum of 16 trillion 765 billion 328 million 860,640 naira only is for contribution to the Development Fund for Capital Expenditure for the year ending 31st March 2026 and for related matters, and in so doing, approve clauses 1 to 13, the schedules and the long title of the bill. The Leader of the House, can you move for the House to move for the adoption of the reports?
Thank you, Your Excellency, the Right Honorable Speaker, distinguished honorable colleagues. I am Honorable Abdullah Ibrahim Ali. I'm from Kogi State. I hereby move that the House adopt all the consideration. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The Minority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, I second the motion moved by the Deputy House Leader, so second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Please, can you move for the suspension of our rules to take third reading of this bill?
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I hereby move that we suspend our rules to move for the third reading of the bill. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Minority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, to enable us conclude the business of today, I second the motion for suspension of our rules to take the third reading of these bills. I so second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Clerk.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members. A bill for an act to authorize the issue from the Consolidated Revenue Fund of the Federation, the total sum of 43,561,744,507 naira only, of which 1,742,786,788,150 naira only is for statutory transfers. 8,270,960,606,831,000 naira at 31 naira only is for debt service. 11,268,513,380,853 naira only is for recurrent non-debt expenditure. 22,278,780,968,673 naira only is for capital expenditure development fund contribution for the year ending 31st December 2025. Third reading. A bill for an act to authorize the issue from the Consolidated Revenue Fund of the Federation the total sum of 48,316,242,591,785 naira only, of which 3,689,588,150 645,761,358,925 naira only is for statutory transfers. 14,317,142,689,548 naira only is for debt service. 13,588,9,682,673 naira only is for recurrent non-debt expenditure, while the sum of 16,765,328,860,640 naira only is for contribution to the Development Fund of Capital Expenditure for the year ending 31st March 2026. Third reading.
Honorable colleagues, the two bills are read the third time and passed. The Leader of the House, please can you move for the House to suspend its rules to move for the adoption of our votes and proceedings of today's proceedings.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, distinguished honorable colleagues. I move that we adopt the votes and proceedings.
Minority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, I rise to second the motion that we do set aside our relevant sections of our rules to adopt the votes and proceedings of today. I so second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is have it. Honorable colleagues, we have two informations or notifications. The first is coming from Honorable Adamu Hashim Muranga, Chairman Committee on Parliamentary Friendship Group Gambia and member representing Ningi Warji Federal Constituency of Bauchi State. He is notifying members of the wedding or special invitation on the wedding of his son, and his message reads as follows. I have the pleasure to, on behalf of my family, Right Honorable Adamu Hashim Muranga, MNIM, Serken Gabas Ding Ningi, and that of Alaji Dairu Abubakar Soho Ningi, humbly notify and invite you to the wedding of our son and daughter, Abrahama Adamu Hashimu and Habiba Dairu Abubakar. The wedding father will inshallah take place as follows. Date Saturday, 3rd January 2026. Venue Masjid Awam, Gens Village, Sheikh Guruntu Masjid, Bauchi State. Time 11 a.m. Our families will be honored to have your esteemed presence at the occasion. While I deeply appreciate your kind acceptance and prayers, please accept the assurances of my highest regard. Signed, Honorable Adamu Hashim Muranga, MNI. The second announcement, honorable colleagues, is just to bring to your information that the Queen of the House is celebrating her birthday today. The Queen of the House, and I know you know who the Queen is. Honorable Miriam Onoha has added another year to her life today. She is celebrating her birthday and she is inviting all members to be with her in her office after plenary to celebrate with her. My dear sister, congratulations for adding another year. It's our prayer that your future will be brighter than your past. Congratulations. But members of the House, particularly Honorable Sardauna Arewa Metuta, wants to know how old you are. And please be frank and sincere. How old are you?
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I want to thank Mr. Speaker for taking time to celebrate me on a special day like this. And I accept your appreciation and that God has answered your prayers, that next year will be better and tomorrow is even better for me. Thank you, honorable colleagues. As for my age, when you come to cut the birthday cake, I'll whisper into your ears and every other person who comes.
Good. So, Sardauna,
I am plus
you
one.
don't hear.
I am
You
plus
have
one.
to be there for you to know.
I am plus one. Almost
Order,
50.
please.
Almost 50.
Honorable colleagues, it's my pleasure to announce the constitution of the ad hoc committee to investigate the administration and impact of tax waivers, exemption, and incentives granted from 2015 to 2025. This ad hoc committee will be chaired by Honorable James Faleke, and members of the committee will be Honorable Gabriel Salizok, Honorable will be the deputy chairman, and we have Honorable Namdi Izechi, Honorable Ibrahim Mohammed, Ibrahim Wale Oke, Honorable Dairo Abubakar Sarki, Honorable Dabai Abdullahi, Honorable Ahmed Jaha, and Honorable Sunday Umeha as members. Dears and leadership, please can you approach the chair for 1 minute?
Point of order, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, point of order. Point of order.
Who's on transgender? See Ghana here. See Ghana. Bring Ghana, come. Who is original? Don't get yes, I beg. No, this one. You're ranking.
Gali? Okay.
Order, please.
Order, please. Order, please. The ad hoc committee I earlier announced, we have some additional members for the ad hoc committee earlier announced. We have Honorable Inoli Naji. We have Honorable Obeta.
Order, please.
We have Honorable Jafaru Yakubu. We have Honorable Sani Egidi. Honorable Alaba Adodobwa. We have Honorable Nicholas Mutu. We have Honorable Kelechi Nwobu. We have Honorable Abdul Malik Banga. We have Honorable Gali from Kano. We have Honorable Abiodun Isaac Akinlade. So these are the additional names to the ones we earlier announced. Thank you. The leader
please.
of the House, please can you move for the House to adjourn, Mr. Speaker?
Leko. Honorable Leko, please.
For one ad hoc committee. Leader of the House, please can you move for the House to, can you move for adjournment of the House?
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, distinguished honorable colleagues. I am Honorable Abdullah Ibrahim Ali Halims. Having done justice to all the deliberation today, and most importantly, rounding up the year 2025, I hereby move that this noble and august House hereby adjourn for the Christmas break, for the New Year break, and to resume on the 27th of January 2026. I so move, Mr. Speaker. 27th of...
Minority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues,
I will let you know.
Wish to join in thanking the entire members of the 7th day of January 2026. I so second.
Those in support of this motion, the 7th Tuesday.
Gida